Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a little bit of time. I do apologize about my absence, but yeah, just a lot of stuff going on, wedding planning, doing a lot of stuff to the house, work a lot, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I have been away for a little bit, and I am back to do a review and demo on the Jeffree Star Magic Star Concealer and Setting Powder. It's been a little while since I have felt inspired and motivated by something in the beauty industry, and I was really excited about this. So I just want to jump right in. Let's go to the claims of the concealer. This is not a first impressions. I have used this a couple times, so I do have some thoughts about it already. Let's see. Okay, so on Jeffree Star Cosmetics, it says, helps even out skin tone, has 20% pigment and can cover tattoos, anti-aging properties to help the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, and increased wear time and self-setting effect to keep you flawless for hours. Fragrance-free, paraben-free, and talc-free for the concealer. And let's read the claims on the powder. The Magic Star Setting Powder, let's see, ultra fine, soft and luxurious formula infused with vitamin C and E. Special blend of silica that controls oil and keeps you looking flawless all day. Experience the airbrushed, Jeffree Star approved blurring effect. Pores, creasing, who can't relate, blah blah blah. Now this one does have a scent. It is very light. It is scented like cotton candy. I'm sure you guys have already seen a million reviews on this, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there on it. And yeah, we'll just get started. Each retails for $22. There are 30 shades in the concealer, 7 shades of the powder, and 1 translucent. So including the pure white concealer, there's actually 31 shades, and then there are 2 color correctors, peach and green. Also retails for $22. Now, a lot of people have kind of complained about how much product you're getting for $22, because off the bat, $22 does seem like a good price. As I'm leaving the camera here, I'm grabbing these. Let's see, but you only get where are the ounces? Okay, so it took me a few minutes to actually find how much product you get. So, in the Jeffree Star, you get 0.115 fluid ounces of product in the concealer. And just for reference, because this is what everybody references, you get 0.3381 ounces of Shape Tape concealer. So that is like triple the amount of product. However, in theory, if this is 20% pigment, it should kind of work out to the same, considering it should go a longer way and have more coverage. So in theory, you're using less, so maybe that's where the difference is coming from. Maybe. So, out of the 31 shades, one of them being the pure white, I had a hard time choosing a concealer shade. I would consider myself a light. I wouldn't say I'm super fair, definitely not medium. I guess I could fit into the light, maybe light medium, if I'm being generous with my tan or lack thereof. I would say I'm about a light skin tone. Now, the translucent powder is what I was originally going to get, but I say we because my fiance actually bought it for me. I got the fair shade, and originally we bought the C3 concealer. After watching a ton of swatches, it seems like really the first 7 shades are really, 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 really light. Really light. Like, I saw some uber fair people using C3, and I was like, ugh, they're lighter than I am. So after watching tons of reviews, tons of swatches, I picked up a second shade from Beautylish, and I got that in C12. Never in a million years would I consider myself a medium skin tone. Usually I'm in the first few shades of concealers, so that was kind of weird to me, but if you look at the way the swatches go, it's like 3 is darker than like 4 and 5. And I get that it's by undertone and stuff like that, but it was a little confusing. Like C12 looked lighter than C10, but undertones can affect the way shades look on other people. So anyway, I just want to jump in. By now you guys have seen a million swatches and stuff like that. So yes, I have C3 and C12, and they both work for me. C12 is more my skin tone, and it is a peach undertone, which I would consider myself more neutral to yellow, but I like a little bit of peachiness under the eye because it does help to color correct a little bit. And then I got C3, which was for like vanilla beige undertones. So this is more of like a brightening shade for me. I don't like a super white under eye. I actually think it gives a gray cast and draws more attention to the dark circle. So I usually like to match, maybe be a hair lighter, and then maybe I'll throw a little bit of a lighter color right in here. So I'm going to demo this for you and the powder and give my thoughts as I go. But first, I need to put foundation on. So I'm going to go in with my Bare Pro from Bare Minerals. And I am actually going to be using the Jeffree Star sponges, which I've only used a few times. I actually really like the tiny ones. This one's a little like hard at the moment, but I know that that's going to change. The more I use it, it is going to soften up a little bit, so I'm okay with that. But it's a very smooth sponge. It's not super porous because I feel like a lot of them are too porous and the holes are like too big in them, if you know what I'm saying. So I actually had gotten my Beautylish package first. I'm sure a ton of orders go through JeffreeStarCosmetics.com, but I had ordered my Beautylish order like 2 days after the JeffreeStarCosmetics.com order, and I still got my Beautylish one first. Just throwing that out there. But like I said, I'm sure Jeffree Star Cosmetics gets a ton of orders when they have a launch like that, so I get it. So that being said, I was using the C12 just by itself for a little bit, which worked. It wasn't as brightening like I said, but it matched, so it still looked really good. And I was setting it for a few days with my Cover FX powder, which worked really well. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the price of the concealer for how much you get, but that being said, now I get this was like a $6 concealer, but when people were comparing the concealer from Makeup Revolution to Tarte, you get like no concealer. I know it was $6, but I don't mind paying a little bit extra if the product performs really well. If in theory you're using less, then like I said, it kind of works out. So I have naturally curly hair, and I always have it clipped up as it's drying so I don't get this like crazy triangle effect. Can anybody else relate? I hate when I break out on my neck. It looks so gross. Alright, so now that that is on, I am going to go in with the concealer, C12 and C3. I'm going to swatch them really quick just so you can see. That's C12. And C3. Yes, C12 is different, but do I think it's like 9 shades different? No. I think Jeffree Star did a really great job making sure he had all the fair shades covered and a lot of deep shades covered, but I still think the middle was lacking. Like the true light medium skin tones, I think, is where he could expand the shade range, which I know he said he still wants to expand the shades. That the 30 was just the initial launch. So I would say that middle, because it seems like it goes fair, 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 light, tan, and then really dark. The jump from C12 to like C13 or 14 is huge. So, okay. Time to go on with the concealer. I love that he said that there's anti-aging ingredients in here because I'm already wanting to get rid of these fine lines under my eyes. So that is C12. As you can see, would totally work by itself. But just to add a little bit of brightening, I am putting some C3 right in there. Now just for reference, I use the shade Light in Shape Tape, and I can maybe bump up to like light neutral in the summer. Whoa. So, yeah. I will say this is a really cool component, although it's bulky and some people might say it's not travel friendly because it does take up a lot of room. It's very nice and weighted and feels like not cheap, so that's really nice. So he does say you don't have to like work with this super fast. It's not just going to set on you, which I do agree with. You have time to work with it. I think it blends out really, really, really easy. I think sometimes with my Shape Tape, I have like kind of this line where you can see that it didn't really melt in. That doesn't happen every time, but sometimes. Now you can see how flawlessly that is blending out. Now I do like this little sponge because it's always really hard for me to get like right in here. And then I like the bigger one for like the cheek area. I don't know if you guys can see how smooth that looks. And even like right in here where I have really big pores, this has not been accentuating that. I'm going to take a little C3 and just put a little down my nose, forehead and chin. Now, this is where my Shape Tape sometimes it's hard to blend out the lines. And that blended out really fast. Now, I will say I do think Shape Tape still has a tiny bit more coverage. a tiny bit. However, this blends out beautifully. A little goes a long way. And I do think it looks smoother than my Shape Tape. Like I said, I have worn this a few times with different setting powders, different eye creams underneath. And I have not had any creasing with this yet. Alright, that's all blended out. And before I get any creasing, because I mean, now this says self-setting. Maybe I would never not set my concealer, but you could try that. I could almost guarantee that if I didn't set this, it would crease. So we're going to move on to the setting powder. Now I've mentioned before that I hate fragrance in my face products. However, this does not bother me. It's light, it's sweet, it dissipates, it goes away. It's not like floral, doesn't make me itchy. Because a lot of things have like a floral scent and that just makes me want to die. Ugh. So, how many ounces do we get of this? I'm going to set my concealer first and then I'm going to look up how many ounces you get of the powder. So I picked this up from Beautylicious website. It is by Beauty Blender. One side is just like a puff and the other side is kind of like rubber Beauty Blender material. And I picked it up to add on so I could get free shipping because there was free shipping with 35. And I love this thing for setting the under eye. It's perfectly shaped. Now I've applied this powder with a brush. I have applied it with a beauty sponge and it looks flawless no matter what. But I just really like the way this lets me apply it. Set the eyelids. Okay, so we're gonna just let that sit there for a few minutes. I don't bake for like 20 minutes or anything like that. We're just gonna let that set for a few. And then let's see how much product you get. Okay, so with the Jeffree Star setting powder, you get 0.353 ounces for $22. That is a very, very good price no matter which way you look at it because CoverFX, you get 0.35, so basically the exact same amount. And the CoverFX setting powder is, I want to say it's like 30 something? 35. So that is a really good price no matter which way you spin it compared to other setting powders. I'm going to take a brush and we're going to wipe away this excess powder. I don't know why I'm holding my mirror like that. Okay, so that is all wiped away, and again, I just think it looks really flawless. So I am a huge fan of this concealer and powder, truly. I think I found something that I like as much, if not maybe better. I want to use it a little longer before I have any crazy claims, but I think I like it as much, if not better, than my Shape Tape. My damn email's always open when I film. So yeah, I think this looks really flawless. I'm gonna go finish my makeup off camera, come back and wrap this video up. Okay, so I am back with the rest of my makeup on, and yeah, I really think that the concealer and the powder do look really flawless. I think the packaging is great. I think that no matter how you spin it, this is a really good deal. Again, I got the shade Fair, and I do still think it's very brightening on the under eye. I don't think it looks crusty. I don't think it looks drying. I don't think it looks cakey. So A+ on the powder. Like I said, no matter which way you spin it, $22 is a good deal on it compared to most powders in which you get the same amount. I really like the concealer. I think it's worth the price. I know when you break it down by ounces, it is more expensive than other concealers, but a little bit goes a long way, so I still think it's going to last you. So it might still work out to be about the same, and even if it is a little bit more expensive, it's really good. It's very smooth. I'm going to insert pictures of other days that I wore it. I literally messed up on my eyeliner today because it's running out, so please don't look at that. But look at my under eyes. I think it looks really smooth, which I've said this before with foundations. I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of coverage if it means better texture. So I think this has... I think it's more smoothing than the Shape Tape. And I think it stays smooth throughout the day. Again, the shade range, I think the Fairest of the Fair is covered really well. I think that deeper skin tones is covered really well. I think the mid-range still needs some help, which, like he said, this is his just initial launch of it, and he plans on coming out with more concealers. He was open to hear what shades he needs in the collection, and I would say some more of the mid-tones. I do appreciate that he covered a lot of different undertones: peach, yellow, olive, cool, neutral, so he covered undertones. I just think there needs to be a little bit more in the mid-range, but yeah. I think this might be my new favorite concealer, but I don't want to say for sure yet. But I do really like it, and I think it's worth it. Anything that can make my under eyes look nice and smooth, I am totally down for. Can we get this in a foundation, please? So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say. We talked about packaging. We talked about pricing, formula, scent, which again doesn't drive me crazy. It's a very light scent that, again, you don't smell throughout the entire day. It's not like an itchy floral scent or anything like that. And yeah, again, I have C3, C12, Fair in the setting powder, and I think A+. I really like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. I do have a lot of videos that I want to make coming up. I want to do a skincare video because I have been trying a lot of new skincare. I do want to do a tutorial on the Blood Sugar palette. I know I'm way behind on that, but I just picked that one up. I would like to do a tutorial on that. And a current favorites video, because although I've been MIA on here, I have been trying a lot of new products that I want to tell you guys about. So don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. I just flung my hair.